Last episode was exciting, wasn't it? I don't know if this one's going to be as exciting because I'm just going to do basic invitations. I say basic, but really it's more of the story, more of the stuff that I'm kind of interested in seeing anyway. But before I do that, let me double check. People were also saying there's a theme to these. Scorched Girl. That story is all about the girl that was... They were rejected, right? They were forgotten, and they burnt up in a fire because they were left for dead, or something like that. The Happy Teddy Bear, that's all about a teddy bear that was rejected. Or like the child grew up and forgot about the teddy bear. So there's obviously a theme with those two. Those two are all about rejection, what Angela felt. Those two are all about how, boy, I wish someone would just love me and hug me. Then there's Fairy Festival. Fairy Festival is not about rejection because they're all about healing. No, it is about rejection because they get angry if you work with anyone other than them. They're jealous. So if you reject them and you go to another abnormality right after you work with them, I think it's like 10 seconds, they'll eat you. And so that's sort of like what Angela was feeling too, that jealousy, that longing for Ian to look at them, even though other people were saying, hey, I see you, I appreciate you. You know, like Benjamin wasn't good enough. Only Ian was good enough. God, that is such a human emotion too. And I think that's why they make so many movies about it. Like so many romance movies are all about how there's the best friend that's been your best friend your whole life, and they're in the friend zone, and you never think of them as a romantic partner until you've gone out and tried to seek 15 other people who just don't want anything to do with you. And then magically, since that best friend's always there in those romance movies, it usually works out. They get together and it's like, oh, you were my best friend, but you were the love of my life the entire time. And that like never works in real life. So I don't understand why that's such a common theme. Probably because so many people feel like that could happen, but I don't ever see it in real life. I don't know anyone that went from being best friends to romance partners eventually. Anyway, moving on. Queen Bee also... Does Queen Bee feel the same way about rejection? Queen Bee was one of those that they would accumulate people. Like, they would release spores to bring them in. And maybe that's sort of what Angela was feeling, but I don't think that matches the whole theme so far. What else could it be? The idea that she felt like a worker in the colony, like she was nothing more than a cog in the machine. She could also feel like the hidden monster, like the head of the machine, but she's like the big monster everyone's sort of afraid of, similar to how the Queen Bee was. So like all the workers would respond to the queen, but it could also be like the type of fight. So she felt like people were turning on her a lot, like when we beat Queen Bee, all of her workers turned on her. What else? I can draw so many conclusions here, and some of them are a little bit more of a leap in logic than others, but I feel like those are the ones in my head that, like, of all the lists that I ran through really quick, I think those are the ones that make the most sense. Other than that, everything else would be a big stretch. Like, loyalty is a thing, right? That's like a whole thing with the Hive, but after a certain point, they're more loyal to the success of the Hive than the Queen herself. So maybe that's what it's all about, because that's why the bees turn on the queen when the queen gets really sick. That way they can put in a new queen as fast as possible. That way the hive can continue and can thrive. So then we have, I always forget what this one was called. It was like Snow White's apple is basically what it is. Was it called Green Stem? It might have been called Green Stem. Oh no, it was Snow White's apple. It was exactly Snow White's apple. What am I thinking? Of course, it's Snow White's apple. Green Stem is the ego. I'm almost positive that's what that is. So, Snow White's apple. So the story of Snow White was all about, was it the fairest of the land or something like that? There was a wicked witch that wanted to be beautiful, but they saw Snow White was too beautiful, so they gave her an apple and she went to sleep. And then only true love's kiss could wake her or something, which is creepy, by the way. So maybe it tells a story. So if I start from beginning to end, and I know I'm taking probably way too long for this, but let me just draw this conclusion really fast, and then we'll move on. Scorched Girl, Happy Teddy Bear, that's all about rejection and the feeling that Angela had about rejection. Then you move into Fairy Festival, where A was working really diligently with all the other Sephiroth, and acknowledging their feelings and their thoughts, but not Angela's. So she felt jealous, and that jealousy festered, and that's what the fairies are about. And then Queen B, where she felt like all of the loyalty she had earned over all the hard work and all of the terrible things that she had to endure wasn't there. There was no loyalty to her, and that then festered and created even bigger sorrowful and sad and angry emotions, like a big bundle of emotions, all kind of spiraling. And that's sort of why she felt she was betrayed. There was no loyalty there, similar to when the worker bees turn on the queen. For the sake of the greater good, which is the hive, which echoes exactly sort of what happened with all the Sephiroth. And when Angela then decided, well, I'm just going to take matters into my own hands, then she stopped everything from happening, and everyone was kind of mad at her and turned on her, and she's like, well, don't I get a right to be happy too? And she does. She gets a right to be happy too. And then with Snow White's apple, then this is all about how she longs for the day that Snow White, or that the prince's kiss, so probably Aeon, she longed for the day of Aeon's affection, and that never happened, so she never woke up. So she feels like Snow White, who's just waiting for the day when someone will care enough about her to love her unconditionally, and that hopefully in her mind will wake her up from this nightmare. That's where I think this is sort of going, and I think that's the theme that it was sort of playing. If that's not necessarily true, that's also, there could be multiple ways to kind of take this, but if I'm trying to tie all of them together all at once, that's the story I get from it. Because the other things she could be the Wicked Witch or the apple. If she's the Wicked Witch, then she's someone looking from the outside in and only seeing the beauty that other people have and never recognizing her own. If she's the apple, then she is the instrument of destruction and only brings demise to other people without anyone ever thinking about her. And if that's the case, then I can twist that story even more. So, in other words, there's multiple paths that could take, but I think I'm going to leave it there with those, because this isn't a project lore build. It could be. This could turn into a project lore build, but I actually want to get into some of the story, because I'm really interested in seeing where some of our new builds are going. For me, one of the most fascinating parts of this game, besides the story is absolutely amazing, and that is my number one. But the second most fascinating part is doing some of the crazy deck building and kind of seeing how that happens. And hold on a second, things are happening. Who are these fine peoples? And who is this? This looks like the church lady, but she doesn't have her whole get up. Maybe she's got this new awesome suit because now she needs to be super protected. So multiple questions before this even starts. Why did the blue reverberation go after church lady to get her? And also people were saying that her name is Eileen, and she's the one that actually told the puppeteer to be on the train. So there's all of that. And then there's also the question of how did the puppeteer get on and off the train? But we're not on the warp train arc right now. This is the Tanya arc, because the sweepers were over here. This is Tanya arc. The next arc is the circus arc, which is Philip. That's Philip's arc, and then the warp train. So I've got a little bit of distance between these two. It all feels sort of interconnected somehow too. Mainly because I am getting all the stories mixed up sometimes. So it all feels like it's all part of one. But there is a connection now, canonically, between the church and the warp train. So there is a connection between blue reverberation and the warp train arc. So it's not a stretch to say that all of the happenings that we are witnessing are probably all interwoven somehow. Okay, now let's get to the story. Now I've distracted you and myself way too much.
내 친구가 울다가 지쳐서 기절하겠어.
Why? Don't cry.
셀마, 셀마, 가여운 친구야.
I don't like the way he says that.
그래도 너무 엄살 부리지는 마. 아직 제대로 재미조차 못 봤으니까.
Oh, you mean the tears of excitement?
아유 매콤한 연기 땜시 고통은 별로 안 느껴질 텐데.
Oh, they're named. Naming someone is always positive. Maybe I'll make one of them into one of my librarians. Obviously, I can make that face.
왕씨 이 친구 참말로 겁많아. 그러게 말이야. 아직 1347% 정도밖에 못 떴는데.
What is happening? I heard slices. Oh, 1347 slices so far. They are cutting into somebody. Oh, well, good thing I'm not seeing it.
가만 보자. 푸른 성님이 어느 정도로 포를 떠더라고 했지?
친구라도 약속을 어긴 셀마의 죄는 중하니 1만 포 정도로 해둘까?
10,000. They're being punished. Oh. So this punishment, maybe they're getting like itty bitty small slices, but 10,000 itty bitty small slices is still a lot. What promise did they break to the blue reverberation? I don't recognize, was it Therma or Thelma something? I don't recognize that name. Was that someone that we saw?
알았으라. 맡겨두란게요. 미씨 이 친구야. 뜨는 대로 다 처먹으면 어째?
아따마 그 기 터지겠네. 기양 먹을 거 아니에요.
They're eating the... Okay, well, probably, I guess there must be filleting them and putting them on plates. That way they have something to eat later. We know it's a delicacy in the city.
자, 많이 남았으니까 걱정하지 말더라고. 우리 친구들 입이 몇 갠디? 내가 잘 넣어봐야 시겠다.
셀마, 그런 표정 짓지 마. 알고 있었잖아, 우리가 했던 거래를.
What kind of a deal is happening?
기껏 잘 처리하다가 마지막에 그르치면 안 되지.
푸른 성님, 이 친구 할 말 있나 본디 제갈 풀어요?
Oh, no wonder we can't hear all the screaming. They've got them gagged, which is good because I didn't want to hear all of it anyway. It was going to be a lot.
풀어줘.
Oh, is this first person? Oh, that's creepy. I don't like the idea of first person pain. Okay, what do you gotta say? Quickly, before you pass out from the shock.
푸른 잔향, 미친 새끼.
So, oh, it's the She South Branch manager, Thelma. I know we saw the She, so that's not a big deal. I'll just move on.
애초에 불가능한 거였잖아.
An impossible task. Yeah, well, I'm sure the impossible tasks seem to be just general tasks now. Those are dailies for everybody.
남부지부의 이과만 이용한 건 셀마의 선택이었어. 일과를 이용해도 됐잖아. 자기 자리를 지키기 위해 이과를 처리하려고 머리 굴리다가 셀마는 결국 나와의 약속을 지켜내지 못했어.
네가 이과를 이용하려는 듯이 말했잖아.
난 반드시 이과를 이용하라고 한 적 없어. 목록에 적은 일들만 기한 내에 처리해달라고 한 것뿐이잖아. 넌 동의했고.
See, I guess it pays to be smart. You gotta be smart. And the unfortunate thing is most of the most of the creative people and the like top tier outside of the box thinkers are all in the nests or they're all in the corporations. So we're dealing with a lot of the people who are more C rock, hit rock kind of people. And I'm not saying that they can't be educated and they can't be smart in their own way, but I don't think that they think outside of the box enough. I never ever want to say someone is stupid, but I do know that sometimes if your only tools in life are hammers, then everything is a nail. And that is true. I've been in that situation where I've seen a solution. I'm like, this has to work, instead of taking a step back. And that's what seems to be happening to everyone here. It is such a repeating theme lately with all the prescripts that have really weird solutions that you can get around the heart of the prescript, or like the soul of the request. And now this one, it feels like everyone just does this on purpose, hoping that the person will fail. That way they can torture them or do whatever they want to them. And then they can justify it in their head like, oh, they were a bad person. We had a contract. They went back on it. This is what they get. But in reality, they were doing it on purpose so they could do this. It's just... I'm not saying it's necessarily wrong anymore, because I'm getting a little jaded to the world of the city, but it just... I don't understand why everyone is just trying to set everyone else up for failure. Isn't the whole point of the city actually like to make some sort of a step forward toward your goals? Or I guess if you're strong enough, like the blue reverberation, maybe it's just to have fun, and this is fun for him. That could be. Maybe I'm looking at it like, maybe it's because I'm too goal-oriented of a person, and there are just people now who are just so bored with life. All they're trying to do is spice it up somehow, and causing other people pain seems to be the only way to do that now.
비열한 새끼. 지부장이 나를 죽이면 남부 일가와 협회 본부는 물론이고.
Okay, yeah, you're not saying anything I'm sure that he doesn't already know.
하나에서도 가만히 있지 않을 거야.
Yes, that also probably is something he already knows.
그러니까 제발 한 번만 더 기회를 줘. 셀마, 끝까지 약속을 못 지켜서 미안하다는 말은 안 해주는구나. 참 마음 아프다. 그리고 내 걱정이라면 안 해줘도 괜찮아. 여기가 어디라고 했지, 친구들?
뒷골목이란 게요. 그 시기 23구였는가?
엄마, 이 성님은 지금 밤이란 것도 알랑가 몰라잉?
Oh, they're gonna blame it on the sweepers.
아이고, 당연히 모르지. 눈을 단디 가려놨는디.
I see what's gonna happen here. So the whole plan was to off this dude, then blame it on the sweepers. And that will turn the Shi and Hana Association against the sweepers. They'll go in and they'll deal with a lot of the sweepers that haven't already been dealt with. Why are they trying to remove sweepers from the equation, though? Good question. Probably because the sweepers are super terrifying in large numbers, and if they can minimize the number of sweepers there are, because it feels like, at first I thought maybe someone is controlling the sweepers and they're a tool, but it feels like they're a product of the corruption of humanity, and they're just, it's a constant, you know, taxes, death, sweepers, the three constants of the city. So that being said, if they can cut down on the number of sweepers, then they can fight an all-out war day and night without having to worry about trying to fight on two fronts, because the sweepers will be licking their wounds and trying to heal, because they seem very smart. One way or another, I think this is supposed to trick the sweepers into getting into being in a very bad situation.
그러지.
지금 뒷골목의 밤이라는 거야?
Wait, that's capitalized. The night in the back streets. Yes, and?
맞아. 그러니까 네가 어디서 어떻게 죽었는지는 아무도 모를 거야. 천천히 도시에서 사라지는 거지. 안 그래?
분명 그럴 거예요, 아르갈리아님.
그럼 그대로 진행해줘, 친구들.
I was just assuming the blue reverberation didn't care. If you're strong enough, you don't have to care about other people or anything going on in the city. But I guess if the entire city turns against you, no matter how strong you are, that would be a problem.
미안해요. 죄송합니다. 약속을 못 지켜서 죄송합니다.
Something tells me it's a little too late now.
도론성님, 어째요?
I don't like these ones. What do we doodly do? That seems... They're too childish in the fun that they're having.
뭐야? 여기서 끝나는겨?
셀마.
네, 아르갈리아님, 제가 다 잘못했습니다. 다시는 제 모자란 머리를 절대 굴리지 않고 앞으로 약속도 어기지 않도록 하겠습니다.
That you probably should have known that ahead of time.
아, 셀마. 난 눈물 날라 그래.
Aw, look at how happy you've made them. What a proud moment this must be for Thelma, making the blue reverberation almost shed a tear in happiness.
정말 나한테 사과한다고 네가 죽지 않을 리가 없잖아.
Right, absolutely not. You're definitely not getting spared, that's for sure. Maybe a quicker death, that would have been nicer.
모자란 친구인 건 알았는데 이 정도일 줄은 몰랐어. 그래도 사과는 받아줄게.
자, 아응 하고 제갈 물어요잉. 야이 개새끼야!
That's okay. Sure, the feeling's mutual.
그렇게 울상짓지 말아요. 서로 웃고 살아야지.
I don't like the smiling faces. I feel like those are the ones we're gonna fight, though.
선생님, 이 다음은 어찌할까?
처리가 끝나는 대로 도서관으로 가죠. 초대장은 여기 놔두고 갈 테니.
I could have almost called it that the blue reverberation is definitely one of the ones sending people to us. Intentionally forcing people toward us, sending people to us. Why, though? Why is any of this happening?
셀마는 잘 부탁할게. 그래도 오랜 친구였으니까.
걱정하지 말라오.
If
조심히
with
가세요.
a friend like that, I would hate to be his enemy. Oh my god.
그럼 에일린, 다른 친구들을 만나러 가볼까?
Other friends? Oh, you're gonna go kill other people? Send other people to us with library invitations? How does the blue reverb keep getting invitations? That's another question. Besides, the library just keeps handing them to him because, like, the library knows he's gonna hand them off to people. But something's so suspicious with the blue. I don't know what to do about that, but I can't do anything, I guess. I just keep doing what I'm doing. I just keep fighting whoever he sends. I guess we have smiling faces we're gonna have to deal with.
기꺼이.
I have a feeling they're gonna be really strong. Well, I guess I'll find out in about 2 seconds.
전에 봤던 톱니 교단 교주를 완전히 자기 편으로 만들어 버렸군.
Yeah, that's pretty easy. When you save someone's life, you can pretty much win them over instantly.
아, 저거 또라이 자식.
Really talks like he knows them personally. That sounds like something that you would say. The way he said it, that sounds like something you would say about a friend. Like, oh, that's that one odd friend out of my group. The dude that will chug ketchup in order to win a bet. He's just an absolute madman. Just a mad lad, just going at it all the time, man. You can't believe the things that this dude gets up to.
해결사면서 뒤틀림에 웃는 얼굴들까지 수족으로 부리다니.
Yeah, he's pretty well insane. Like, if dude has Tanya and the smiling faces and the Church of Gears, what other places and people does he have to throw at us? And why is he throwing them at us?
특색은 역시 강하겠지?
그렇지. 1급 해결사 중에서도 특출난 해결사니까.
That's what I sort of already knew, and that's what everyone was confirming in the comments. But that doesn't account for all the connections that he has. This guy's a very social butterfly.
하나협회에서 고유의 색을 부여받아
색을 부여받는다라.
손에 꼽는 해결사라고 보면 되는 거야. 벌이도 어마어마하다고.
I guess they would be paid, wouldn't they? And they're associated with the Hana Association? So the Hana Association is paying them? Okay. I don't know why I just assumed they were kind of like freelancers, off on their own, doing their own thing, getting whatever odd jobs they got, just taking whatever they wanted.
푸른 잔향이면 푸른색을 부여받은 해결사겠네.
Was that in debate? No, he was assigned the color reverberation. Blue just happens to describe it. What? Or is it going to be purple? It just has nothing to do with the name at all.
맞아. 붉은 안개같이 색을 부여받은 해결사 중 하나야.
So confused why that was even a question. How many colors are there? There's probably, what, 7? How many?
붉은 안개만큼 강해?
뭐 강하다라는 측면만 보면 붉은 안개가 우위일 거야.
Oh yeah, the red mist, I've heard tale of her legacy is absolutely phenomenal. She's crazy powerful. But something tells me that blue is probably up there. I doubt that there is so much of a gap between them that it would be so much easier to handle him compared to just her.
하지만 해결사의 일이란 게 여러 분야가 있고 그만큼 다양한 상황이 있다 보니 쉽게 단정 지을 순 없어.
Yeah, some of them would probably be defense. Similar to like the different associations, I'm assuming each one of them specializes in their own thing. There's probably all sorts of like one that is like a sneaky assassin type, one that's like a tank, like high DPS, which is probably the Red Mist. I'm sure there's one that specializes into like infiltration missions and like sabotage, stuff like that. I almost guarantee, because of all the different associations and how each one of them specialize in their own thing, I almost guarantee each one of the colors is like the best of the best at each specialization. So there could be some that is like a hacker, absolutely zero power, but they are really good with technology. So they would have like a giant mech thing probably to fight with or something. I don't know. I'm thinking like Pacific Rim or like a Gundam kind of thing. That'd be kind of cool.
붉은 안개는 혼자 활동했지만 푸른 잔향은 보다시피 도시 악몽급에 해당하는 조직을 거느리고 다니는 것처럼.
They are definitely leading a massive army of people that they're just throwing at us. They're throwing at us in steps of difficulty, which tells me they know what happens when they go to the library. They know something about this place.
푸른 잔향의 책이 필요하다면 구할 수 있을까?
Could we? Yeah. Is it gonna be easy? No.
어떻게든 구할 수는 있겠지. 저런 미친놈은 도시에서 사라져야만 하고.
Probably. Yeah, you're probably right.
아따.
Oh, I forgot you idiots were coming.
그거 너무 뚫어지게 쳐다보지 말어. 범의 글에서는 정신 단디 차려야 해.
They're very smart. They're one of the few ones that instantly recognize, hey, let's not get complacent. Now, we've seen it with Oscar and some of them, that they instantly cue in like, oh, this place is dangerous. I can feel the danger all around me. But these ones, they were very silly while they were cutting people up, but now they've sort of shifted gears.
슬슬 관장이 나올 때가 됐는디.
환영합니다, 손님.
히히, 반가워라.
여기에 유진이라는 놈의 책 있죠?
Oh, Eugen. Yeah, I do. I'm actually using that one. You want to see it?
그렇답니다.
와마 참말로 있는갑네. 푸른 성이 무서워라.
Blue fella really is a scary one? Why? Because he knew it was there? It's on the invitation that you signed.
아, 그게 말이야. 성님 말대로 다 되어버렸어.
Can he predict the future? Small incremental predictions of the future? Is that what he specializes in, or he pretends to specialize in? Again, it was written on the invitation. It says it. It's a reward.
부디 당신의 책을 찾으실 수 있기를.
Ah, she said the thing. Yay! Okay, now what kind of fight is this? So there is 2 acts here. So, oh yeah, because none of these are the named ones. How bad are the regular ones? Smoke. Huh? Smoke applies ongoing damage instead of incoming damage on this character. What? Applies... Oh, outgoing. Applies outgoing damage instead of incoming damage on this character. So I can't damage the character? Do they just have smoke? I don't understand. So in other words, whoever is infected with smoke, only outgoing damage hits them, not any damage done to them. Ah, so smoke is a defense thing. Amplifies damage taken At 9 plus smoke, all dice gain +1 power. Stacks up to 10. I get if the target has 3 or more smoke, draw 2 pages. So they're gonna deal smoke to me too? What? What? So I have to hit them, but they don't take any of that damage. Where does that damage go? Where does their incoming damage go? Does it go back to me? Ego! Yes, finally, this one. If your team's overall emotion level reaches 3, an ego page may be chosen. The selected ego pages are placed in a separate hand that all librarians can access. Oh. And then a special button will appear to facilitate viewing this communal hand. Once used, ego page needs to be recharged by accumulating emotion points before it can be used again. I see. I understand how this works now. It was very confusing in the beginning, but I totally understand it now. Okay, nothing that I ever say ever matters. Let's hear what they're saying. Heard we're getting books if we wreck them. Blue fella needs them for something. I won't pause the recording just yet. Let's see what kind of a fight I'm dealing with. If it gets super boring, I will just jump ahead, I think. What kind of a card are we dealing with here? Inflict 7 smoke on hit? Wow. Then that's going to be on us. But that means I won't take any more damage, right? And then on hit, they gain 4 smoke. So they're going to be gaining smoke. I'm going to be gaining smoke. What does the smoke do? I guess I'm just going to slash this and hope I win. Will of the Prescript. We are singleton. That'll actually draw me 3 pages. And then I can do Wait Up. So I rebuilt my Oscar build a little bit because it really was getting a little underwhelming. Maybe I let that hit. Who is this hitting? Can't remember who this is. Doesn't matter. Let's just go. I want to see how this kind of plays out. So we got smoke. They gained smoke? No. They're just giving me smoke. How is this? Okay, some of them do have smoke. They got 7 smoke. I've got 7 smoke. I guess I'm still healing from this damage. They got staggered. I didn't think the incoming damage applied to them. Smoke amplifies outgoing damage instead of incoming damage on this. Oh, it amplifies! Oh, I see. Okay, I understand how it works now. It's not that it that it can't take incoming damage. It just, if you add smoke to themselves, it'll amplify how much damage they're doing. And if they put smoke on us, it amplifies the amount of damage coming in. I see it now. So this is pretty straightforward. I'm just going to skip this. I thought it was going to be really confusing because you can only take damage if you don't have smoke applied. But you can only do damage if you do have smoke applied. And that just didn't click in my brain why that would even be a thing. Okay, this is just a basic fight. See, so all I have to do now is anyone that has smoke, I don't clash with them. And anyone who doesn't have smoke applied, then I do clash with them. I just pull all the damage to them because then it doesn't amplify the amount of damage I'm taking. Now it does amplify the amount of damage they output, which is unfortunate. But I can get through that pretty easily, I think. Yeah, see, this was pretty easy now that I understand what's going on. See, pretty straightforward now. The real problem comes from the next fight. This one's probably going to be an issue. Yeah, speed dice. That sucks. They both, or all 3 of them have it. And this one's just a basic one. So I'll probably hit them first. Sooty Thwack. The heck is a Sooty Thwack? If the character has smoke, boosts stagger damage dealt with attacks by smoke times 10%. Oh boy, that's not good. Smoke addiction. On a successful hit, if the target had 8 or more stacks of smoke, inflicts 2 paralysis next scene, and then stimulating fumes. This is actually a tough one. It's a really hard one. Here's the thing. I now have ego pages. Kind of want to use them. I sort of were saving them up for this round. Hopefully I still can use them. I think I can. I didn't get up to the emotion levels I sort of wanted to get to, but we'll see. I should be able to boost probably Ray and Malkith pretty easily. I guess pretty much everyone but Bong Bong is still at the lower level. I need to boost all of them. Is that it? I swear, this is it, right? I click on this and I get my ego pages? Or is it because I don't have an emotion level of 3? So I have to get up to this? So I really need to crack down on getting some more emotion then. Then I can fire off my ego pages. The second I get my ego pages, this is done. This is over. I guarantee it. We are so strong. So there's really only 2 defensive dice that I kind of can ignore. The rest of them are all attacks, so I need to clash with pretty much everything else. Hopefully win most of these clashes. I'd like to bump up my emotion level so I can start using my ego. A mass attack would be great. Or even wing beat. Wing beat look amazing. That would be good too. And I think it's all like stabby. I think it's all pierce damage. So I could throw that on my Oscar build and really like just crank the stats on that one. Gluttony. Oh, we bumped up a level. So now we're into ego territory, I think. Binds. For the rest of the act, inflict 6 bind to a random enemy at the start of the scene. Pierce dice. Gain power when attacking that enemy. When attacking an enemy who already took damage on the same scene, deal 1 to 3 extra damage and recover HP. I think I might be doing that one. Yeah. I like Gluttony. That really boosts my Eugen build a lot. Yeah! Here we go! Which one do I want? 4th match flame would probably be great. Yeah, I guess I do 4th match flame, I guess. Let's do that one. I'll do this one. It should be pretty solid. I think it's slash too, so I can give that to my Eugen, and they'll heal off of it. Oh wait, no, mass attack doesn't apply. Maybe mass attack doesn't apply. Maybe it does. How do I know? Let's see. So I can give it to my Eugen, or wait, my bamboo-headed Kim would probably be better, because they get plus whatever for that. I'm gonna use my 4th match flame. That's a lot of lights, but I really couldn't care less. Now I have to attack the ones that I care about, so I'm gonna attack that. Wait, why did you just randomly select everything for me after that? I wanted to pick other ones. I don't know, I guess that'll work. And why is everyone attacking this poor SOP? My poor Oscar in the back's just getting mauled. Yes, because if I can eliminate the back one, stagger the front one, then I just have these 2. The bottom and the top one I have to deal with. So let's go ahead and do that. Oh, that's so cool! We got ego from it and everything! That is so neat! So we staggered one of them. We're going to win these clashes. We staggered a second one. Good. Stagger this one too. Aw, guess not. We kind of got hit by that one. We can bring down 2 at the exact same time. There's so much burn. That one's just straight up dead. I think that was the back one. Yeah, it was. But we staggered 2 of the other ones too. Oh, because of the flame, right? That's so powerful. That ego, the whole screen changes. The character changes. Oh, it's just that straight up broken. It's so good. That totally changed this fight completely. I'm gonna go ahead and slash this. Then they should hopefully, after that, they will be more than likely. They will have then been staggered. And then we can just hit the same die over and over. I need to at least eliminate a couple of these. I might as well use all my freebies to draw some cards quick. Then the bottom one should be staggered, and then all I have to do is focus fire that one. I might not actually beat this top one, but it'll be close. Oh, wow, I didn't even need to waste all of my other cards on that one. There, totally won that one. So that one's staggered now too. Okay, we did beat the top one. So it would have been completely useless for me to use any other attacks on any other person besides the bottom one. And now we're just gonna straight up win. Now that I have card draw built into all of my decks, like, oh, I'm not sure if I told you or not, but I went back and I rebuilt some of my decks and added some draw. It feels a lot easier now. I never run out of cards anymore. I still haven't really fixed my Eugen all that much, but as you can see, it wasn't much of a problem. I do think that mass attack is essentially what flipped it. I think we were sort of struggling there for a second, and we would have been okay, but it wouldn't have been nearly as easy until I erased half of all the dice on the board instantly. Okay, we got a ton of books. Of course we're going to. I still have that mod installed. Actually, I don't. I think I started the game the wrong way. I keep forgetting to start it with the mod on. So it might be off right now. Regardless, we have plenty of books now. What about the blue sicko? I don't know. I don't know what they're after. That's my question. Why are they after the library so bad, and why do they keep sending people here?
짐작 가는 거라도?
워낙에 많아서 탈이야. 저 정신 나간 변태 놈은 상상 이상의 일들을 태연하게 저질러 주니까.
Now, why does he keep calling him a pervert? Regardless, this is what I'm talking about. Roland really does feel like he knows him way too personally, because he's using very personal insults, and that's all I get out of that, huh? Well, it looks like I have unlocked Had, which will be Letitia. Oh, that's cute. That would be great, I guess. And then Gabora, which the big and will be bad wolf. Of course it is. We had Red before. I can't imagine what kind of fight that's going to be. The Red fight was such brain hurty. I would rather do the Letitia one. I guess I'll try both of them in the next episode. So thank you so much for watching this one. And remember to take care. And goodbye!